Hi, I'm Megan. Welcome to my channel. I got this Penn State sweatshirt from the Salvation Army for the very low price of $5.99. And I'm going to reverse applique the lettering on this. As some of you may know, but most of you probably don't, I myself am a graduate of Pennsylvania State University. I'll let you all guess what year I graduated and with what degree. However, I can already see the comments flooding in now.
Boo! Penn State football sucks! They suck!
To which I reply, maybe they do. I don't care about football in any capacity. However, I am proud to have graduated from Penn State, and that's why I picked up this sweatshirt. I'm gonna spice it up with the applique lettering. I have never done a reverse applique project. However, I just finished watching a bunch of YouTube videos, YouTube shorts, TikToks, Instagram reels, so many different videos on how to do reverse applique. It looks like there's more than one way to do this. So, follow along and we will learn a new skill together. I'm starting off by choosing my fabric. I'm going to use this black and white floral quilting cotton. I think the black will contrast with the tan really nicely and make the letters really stand out. Next, I'm using some pins to outline the lettering, and then turning the sweatshirt inside out. You can see those pins I placed here. I'm cutting out a rectangle of fabric a couple inches longer and wider than where I have my pins placed. And then I'm going to add interfacing to the back of the fabric. This will help stiffen up the fabric a little bit and give it a little more stability and structure. I'm using the type of interfacing that is smooth on one side and has glue dots on the other side. Press the interfacing glue side, touching the wrong side of the fabric using a hot iron. Notice my interfacing is longer than my fabric. You should cut your interfacing the same size as your fabric, or you risk melting the glue of the overhanging interfacing to your ironing board. Don't be like me. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm trimming the excess interfacing away with pinking shears, and then going back over and pinning the fabric right side facing down onto the inside out sweatshirt, being very careful to only pin through the front of the sweatshirt. Turn the shirt right side out, and now it's time to sew around the lettering using a thread that matches the color of the sweatshirt. Go through the bottom of the sweatshirt, and I'm lining up my needle a millimeter or two away from the lettering, lowering my presser foot and my needle into the fabric before I start. Backstitch at the beginning and end of each letter. Then I'm going to sew around the letter, leaving my needle in the down position, lifting the presser foot and turning the shirt at each corner. When it's time to start again at another spot, I lift the presser foot and the needle, pull out a long length of thread, and then move to the new location. You can trim the threads between each move if you prefer. Once I've sewn around each letter, I'm trimming all my threads on both the outside and the inside of the shirt. Then with a pair of pinking shears, I'm trimming down my fabric about a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch away from the stitching. Then turn the sweatshirt right side out, and now it's time to cut out the letters. I'm using my sharpest, pointiest scissors to cut out the lettering. With one hand, pinch and pull the floral fabric away from the sweatshirt, and with the other hand, pinch and pull the letter away from the floral fabric. Then use the scissors to very carefully snip a hole into the sweatshirt fabric only, being sure not to accidentally cut into the floral fabric underneath. Then I'm cutting out each letter, removing all the white plastic screen printing, being very careful not to cut into the floral fabric underneath or into the stitches. Repeat for all the letters. You will notice that between the two legs of the letter A, the sweatshirt material didn't really hold up after I cut everything out. So I'm going to fix this by sewing a satin stitch, zigzag stitch number 4, decreasing the width to 1, and then decreasing the stitch length way down to 0.1, giving it a little test run on this scrap piece of fabric, and it will give you some stitching that looks like this. So I'm just going to do a line of stitching between the legs of the A to separate them. And that's it, the project's complete. What do you all think? This turned out great. Do I love it? Yes. Will I wear it all the time? Yes. I do have some thoughts. I used black floral fabric. Penn State's colors are navy and white. So hindsight being 2020, if I had any navy and white floral fabric, I would have used that instead, but I didn't have any navy and floral fabric anyways, so the black is great. A gentle reminder to you all and also to myself, wash your hands before you start sewing. I got a little bit of black mascara on my hand, which then transferred to my sweatshirt. Luckily, the mascara I use is water soluble, so I'm hoping that this washes out really easily. Regardless, it's a good reminder to wash your hands before you start your project. This project was not difficult, however, it was more time consuming than I anticipated it being. Each letter took 5 minutes to sew, and an additional 5 minutes to cut the letter out. So that's 10 minutes per letter. There's 9 letters on this shirt. 9 times 10 is 90 minutes or an hour and a half. Anyway, so that's just 90 minutes in the sewing and the cutting. That is not including the pinning and the prepping the fabric to get it ready to sew. To be fair though, that only took 5 minutes. Under 2 hours for a project is pretty okay, I guess, but I did anticipate it taking less time than that. The only letter that did not turn out great was the A. I should have sewn the space in the middle of the A a little wider, even if the white lettering was still going to be visible, because it's such a small little triangle, and I'm worried that after a couple of runs through the washer, that the fabric might just wear away. I already showed you at the bottom, between the 2 feet, I had to go in with my sewing machine and do a little satin stitch between the feet so they look like they're separated. Not a huge federal issue, just something I wanted to point out. Anyway, with all this being said, I think that this turned out great. I think that this would make a great gift for somebody. Yeah, I think that this was a pretty cool, easy, fun project. Anyway, friends, I think I've talked long enough. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave it a like so I know to make more videos like this one in the future. And don't forget to subscribe to keep up with those future videos. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.